Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who got a degree in pre-law, and then ended up being a cleaner, Carl Charles, and
the DC EU film. Well, actually, is this in the DCEU? Would you say it's
I don't know. I don't think.
okay?
So.
Well, okay, this DC film that is more family than a Fast and Furious film. Wai Chung.
And actually, they're actually real family as well. So that.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be reviewing and discussing DC's Blue Beetle.
Now, just to continue from the conversation we just had a second, like that. So, is this in your mind? Is this part of the DCEU? Would you say it's actually the first installment of James Gunn's DC, or like in your mind? Because I know it doesn't say anything for or against in the actual film itself.
I think it's like a weird in-between film.
Would you say those
and could not be?
Well, you know, we got to say Schrodinger's DC film where it could fit in both.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Okay, yep, that works for me. That works for me. It could be just like it can exist in both universes because there's no contradiction on anything.
No, cleverly, because they reference certain people, but then they might already exist in the new DC universe because we don't know anything yet, or
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Those certain characters where you're like, wait a minute, did they exist? Well, they didn't say they didn't. I wonder. You know?
Yeah. So okay.
I enjoyed this film.
So did I.
Familiar elements to it, as you would have, because it's type of it's a superhero origin film. So you get these stuff that you're like, okay, well, you know, that's done before and that's done before, but I think as a cohesive whole, it works.
Yes, it does.
And but here's the funny thing, right? I'm watching. I'm like, you know, they don't have a huge amount of characters.
No, they don't.
They concentrate on like the Reyes family, mainly, and then a couple of other not peripheral characters. No, not peripheral, but a couple of other main characters. And then there's everyone that's part of the film, but not really splitting screen time with it, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. Focus on the core four. No, not core four, but a core certain amount, and then
yeah,
it's pretty good. Yes.
Did you read the comics? Have you read the Blue
yes,
Beetle
I have read Blue Beetle comics. Post New 52 and during New 52.
See, from my knowledge of this, I think it's pretty close to the stylings of Jamie Reyes, Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And the joke that he is called Jamie for some reason.
Yeah. Even though I thought the same until I remember I saw something and they said Jaime. I was like, oh, yep.
Yeah,
that
actually,
makes sense.
I tell you, so I don't know if you know, Blue Beetle, this version of Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, was in Smallville.
Was it?
Yeah, he was in the Smallville episode, and that is how I was like, oh yeah, I always thought for some reason it was Jamie, even though you could see it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
But then he called him Jaime, and I was like, ah.
I think that's how I figured. I was like, oh, so for X amount of years, I've been saying it wrong.
Yeah, but like everyone else apparently in the universe, right?
Yeah. Everyone who isn't Mexican, I mean, not everyone who doesn't know Spanish, but you say their J's like H's. Yeah.
Yeah, and the E, and the I, sorry, is supposed to be close to the E instead of before the N.
Yeah. But hey, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this film. It had fun. It had cool action stuff. I didn't think it overdid the special effects until it came towards the end, and even then, it was kind of like, well, it made sense.
Yeah.
It didn't overdo it, and you know they're mech suits, so kind of
it makes sense.
You expect yeah. I did like the look of the Blue Beetle suit because it was a mech suit, but it wasn't a mech suit. It was like, yes, it looked a bit rubber, but it's otherworldly technology. So who's to say?
Yeah, so other than that, it's more of a symbiote than a mech suit, isn't it? So it makes sense for it to kind of look like that. So like, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if some of the stuff that this Blue Beetle does in a movie is it stuff that he does in the comics, but hey,
like what?
like some of the abilities that the Blue Beetle has. Though to be fair, it's kind of ambiguous as to the limits of it and what he can do, but it's nanotech, so shrug.
Like from what? Because I've seen him in the comics and in like Young Justice and stuff like that, and it does basically everything it did in this film.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they don't say the limits of it, so it could do whatever they decide it can do, until the point where they decided they actually can't do that.
Yeah, and they kind of read it into the script as well. Yeah, it does anything you can think of. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, but compared to the comics, from what you know, how is this? How is the like? Not to say okay, it's good or not compared to the movie, but compared to the comics. But how is it in your opinion?
What do you mean, the suit?
No. As in the overall story.
Oh yeah, they changed bits and bobs. Like they made him a bit older because in the comics he's like a teenager, so they made him a bit older in this.
Yeah, I think it made sense to make him a bit older.
Yeah. I don't remember him having a sister in the comics, but I could be wrong. And there's no problem with that, if I'm honest. Oh, that's all good.
Yeah, maybe he had a sister in one continuity and didn't, because you know how like there's Wallace and Wally West, and they both somehow the nephews of
Yeah. So, Besides that, I think they did him right. They did him right. I like the inclusion of historic characters as well, even if it was just mentions.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice surprise to have actually. There's a history, other people, even the non-legacy characters, right?
Yeah,
they have history as well. They don't need to explain everything in this movie, and it's okay. I get you.
Okay,
People have backgrounds and stuff, just not always mentioned.
Yeah, just not always mentioned, but it's there. But no, it's very good, very good.
I like it. Self-contained as well. It's small in scale because it's not world-ending or anything like that. And like we were saying before, it concentrates in a small group of people. Yeah, and then you just get kind of a bit more involved with them as far as the film goes. You're like, oh yeah, invested. That's it.
Yeah, super invested. Yeah, and I like the family dynamic. Yes, that's another thing they changed. Like, I remember in the comics, he's from El Paso, Texas.
Yeah,
and then in this, it was in Edge City or something like that. Edge something. Yeah.
Edge Town. I don't know.
It might be Edge Town. Either way, I don't know if that's something they've changed in the comic or it's a new thing. I don't know, but it was. It's alright.
Yeah. So you would say, non-spoilers, that you would give it a thumbs up?
Yes, non-spoilers, thumbs up from me.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. It doesn't change the game or anything like that, but
no.
Looking at it by itself, and pretending you've never seen any other superhero film or anything like that, because sometimes you're like, oh, these things that will happen in the superhero film. Like, actually, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Taken in the context of, though, all the other superhero films out there, I want to say it's middling or anything like that, but it's unique upon itself, right?
Yeah.
As far as the characters and stuff go. And sometimes I think it hits the standard cliches, but, it weaves in and out of them.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
But not in a bad way. No.
No, yeah. And I found it funny that Susan Sarandon was in this as the only big name person, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, she's bigger than George Lopez, but yeah. Yes,
and Xolo dude from Karate Kid.
Yes,
Miguel from Karate Kid. I mean, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
Because I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Nope, neither do I.
Yeah, we just call him Miguel from Karate Kid. Right? Yeah. I mean, from Cobra Kai.
That's the easiest way, because I don't know how you say it.
But and looking at it, it's kind of like, well, I can see why they cast him, because it makes he's like a a big Latina Mexican star at the moment.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It only makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, okay, works. It's fine. Yeah. It's like, all right, we can probably market off this guy. So fair enough.
Yeah, because he's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah. You thinking sequel? Like, you reckon it will get one anytime soon?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because of stuff that happens in it. I'm like, oh, I hope so.
Yeah. They leave enough strings to actually have a continuation.
Yeah. Big time.
Okay. All right. Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers.
Cord Industries is in the middle of unknown city X somewhere. Unknown location, desert area X, whatever they wanted. Yeah. And Susan Sarandon plays the Catherine Cord, is it?
Victoria Cord, if I remember correctly.
Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I got Catherine Cord then. I don't know. Maybe it was the rhyming.
Yeah, Cord, because it's what they like to do, don't they?
Yeah. But yeah. She's like, yes, get the scarab out of that big dome thingamajig. Because we've been hunting the scarab for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, but is it actually? So when I saw it come out of the helicopter and I saw Cord Industries, I thought, wait a minute, are they actually going to show it's Cord Industries? Because you know how like you could have it, but you don't really have all of it.
Yeah.
Because it's Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Ted called Blue Beetle, and I'm thinking, how are they going to relate to that?
Yeah, because that's
as a
my
clean
kind
slate.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, are they going to do actual? Because Ted Cord never had the actual Blue Beetle. He was just called Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Knowing that, it's just like, are they going to involve Cord Industries and use it as the basis, but not have Blue Beetle involved? Well,
Yeah.
Well, there was, yeah. But yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. I want to know what's up. Yeah, and get the scarab. It's been and they're like, oh, it could be another decoy. So they've clearly tried stuff before. They hunt down the alien artifact. You want to call it?
Yeah.
She's just like with her henchman and some other dude that she calls Sanchez when he's not Sanchez.
Yeah, super racist.
I'm like, yeah. Well, no, it's not that. It's just that I didn't take it like that. Even though later on when she has Mexicans cleaning her house and stuff like that. But one thing, the way I took it was she thought she was above everybody. So no matter what race you were, she'd just treat you like that. It was not a particular race thing.
Not even a race thing, but it's like
it's just like same thing. If there's an Indian dude, she called him Patel. Because she just went straight for the most, like, a Chinese guy, and she'd be like Chung, because that's the most common, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a stereotype, but I'm above you, so I don't need to know, I don't care.
Well, that is kind of slightly racist still.
Oh, yeah, it is true. Yeah. Oh, okay, to be fair, you're stereotyping the names in a racist way, but it's more like if she was calling
it's more
something
ignorance than racism,
Yeah, if some white dude walking around, she called him Smith, I think it's equal opportunity.
Yeah, equal opportunity racism.
Equal opportunity discrimination. I don't know, but it never struck me as racist. It just very like, I'll just call you the stereotypical name of the people that I expect you to have.
Yeah.
Rather than, it just came off as more arrogance and whatnot to me.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. But not actually gave a damn about anyone but herself, anyways. So
just selfish. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. You see, I don't want to say seeming hatred already, but we spent more time talking about her at this moment than she was on screen at the beginning of the scene.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. She gave every indication of this is a heel to hate right off
straight away. You're like, oh wow, she's just great.
And they're like, they ain't no coming back from this. Already we know.
Really, there wasn't.
Yeah.
It's
straight
super
on.
bad. But yeah.
Anyways, like you're saying, Jaime returns to he's got his graduation cap on, coming down the escalator to come back from whatever city he's coming back from.
Yeah.
And you got to do he asked to do an escalator. How do I look? And he's like, you look like
$6,000 debt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, and no doubt it's true as well. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's why it's bad. Like, oh yeah, he's kind of true. Yeah.
But yeah, then his family elsewhere in the airport are like, oh, we need to tell him whatever it is. His sister's like, we need to tell him whatever it is, and Mum's like, no, you can't tell him anything because whatever you say, you always got like that down expression anyways.
Yeah.
So you wait, someone else to tell him.
Yeah. She's like, okay.
And then Jaime just happens to upon them, just as they said, and he goes, tell me what, and they're like, yeah, come,
Yeah, it's good.
come, let's go.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then
And then that's when he's eating his tacos. You know what? I was kind of, it was kind of funny to me because I didn't see anyone eating anything except for him.
Yeah.
Right. And you know when you got financial troubles, right?
Yeah.
And you're hiding from the one person who does know. No one else orders anything. Oh, we're not hungry.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me.
I thought that as well. I was like, oh, that's a bit awkward. No one else is eating.
Yeah, and then they lo and behold they do have financial troubles, because their dad had a heart attack and now they're 3 months overdue on rent and stuff.
Yeah, and he can't.
Well, no, the rent tripled, and then his dad lost his job. So yeah.
Yeah, because they own a garage, and he lost the garage obviously because he can't work. Yeah. I do remember that from the comics.
Yeah, and then his sister's like, yeah, look, I get you some work.
Yeah.
Right. No, they go. They're sitting on the roof of their bungalow.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
and
houses, or most houses in America, when you're not like in big cities, are just single floored. So yeah, base up bungalows. But yeah.
And he's like, they're like, oh yeah, or, like they just. He's like, oh man, I can't. I'm the first Reyes to graduate from college. My parents gave up stuff for me, and like, oh man, he's guilt tripping himself, saying, "I have to do something. I will help you all out."
Yeah.
Because obviously he spent money on him to get him his education.
Yeah. So
and his sister's like, "Look, if take things as they are at the moment. You can't. You don't feel the guilt like that. Who knows? Who knows exactly what was going to happen during the time you're away." And because he was like, you should have told me. I could have figured something out. Like I think the parents were thinking it's more important for you to get your education, and then do something with not necessarily do something with your life, but have a better opportunities than them.
Yeah,
because that's what they not that that's what they sacrificed for, because like that's what they wanted.
Yeah,
for you. So he's like, no, I tell you what, and he's like. They're getting drunk, so he's like, "I tell you what, I will take us out of here. I will get rich. I got my degree. I'll find something for us, and I'll make loads of money, and then we can all get out of here. We don't have to worry about any financial troubles. Yeah. Nothing like that.
Give me 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and then the scene skips. Big beach and everything like that, zooming up, and he's just standing there with his arms behind his like holding his hands behind himself, and he's like nodding, like looking at the sky with his sunglasses, and he's in those like top color and stuff like that, and you're like, yeah, this boy's made it.
Yeah.
And then you hear a voice, Mr. Reyes, and he turns, and you're like, all right. Somehow the time skip. Right?
And
then it's his sister saying, Mr. Reyes, when you're finished just staring out at the sun, do you want to help me scrape the bubble gum off this table right here? Yes, turns out they were at Victoria Court's place, and they're the cleaners.
You're like, oh.
I like that joke. But the trailer gave it away.
Oh, I didn't see the trailer, so I all caught me.
Yeah, it was at the very beginning of the Blue Beetle trailer.
Yeah,
like, even before it introduced what it was. And I was like, oh, all right. Actually, when I saw that bit in the trailer, I was wondering how they would intertwine it into the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Like, that section of the film. And I was like, oh, actually, yeah, they actually set it up pretty well. Yeah. So the sister's like, yo, what are we gonna do? I want to use these upper class highfalutin toilets, right?
Yeah. She's so stupid.
Oh jeez. No, like no doubt they're Japanese ones where you can press the button and you get the water that'll wash you and stuff like that.
Yeah, the best toilets in the world.
And dry clean you and stuff like that. Yeah, so no wonder why she wants to use it, right? But she's like, all right, watch out for me, homie, watch out. So yeah, I don't get caught here. Elsewhere inside, when Victoria walks in with her scarred up bodyguard looking dude,
doesn't look evil whatsoever, but
yeah. Right. So Jenny Cord's in there.
Yep.
Blue Beetle's daughter. Well, no, Ted Cord's daughter, right? We don't know the Blue Beetle yet.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't believe you're. She's playing this video, right, of Victoria Cord doing all this military tech, and the one man army calls, the OMACs. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, actually, wow, that's quite interesting. They're tying this to this. Okay.
Yeah, same. I was
Okay.
like, oh, and I thought the OMAC thing was like gonna be some weird throwaway, but no.
No. And then, so she's having a go at Victoria. She's like, how can you do this? What not? And everything like that. And Victoria's like, actually, I think that advert is really good.
Yeah, and you're like, is it?
And I'm like, okay.
That's not weird.
So I think Jenny's like, yeah, I'll make sure nothing of this ever happens. And then Victoria's like, well, you can step out because this company is not yours, so you can't stop anything.
Yeah. She's like, oh.
And so they're out of the conference room, the living room, wherever they are, right?
Yeah.
Into the area where Jaime's looking out for his sister in the toilet, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I don't know if Victoria's telling her bodyguard to throw Jenny out or threaten her or something like that, because he steps up, right? And then Jaime's like, "Oh, hey, are you right there?"
Yeah. She said leave her alone. And
Yeah. Actually, I thought he was going to do the thing where the Darren Brown thing, where you walk into the situation,
yeah,
but talk about something else completely.
Yeah.
So you just distract people.
But,
I thought he was going to start walking over and start cleaning the area near, just really kind of loudly, so they look at him.
In. Yeah.
No, he's like, is this guy bothering you, miss? But not really, because you can't do anything.
No.
And they're like, and then as the situation's, I want to say, getting a bit more tense.
Yeah.
His sister steps out the toilet and goes, "Woo! That was really."
Yeah, super like, ooh.
Yeah.
Now we're both getting fired because of you.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're fired because you dared try to step in the situation where you don't know what's going on, and I fire you because I can, and I'm firing you because you use the toilet.
Yep, without permission. Uh-uh.
Yeah. Oh, and then so they go to the front of the house, call their Uber, while Jenny's also at the front of the house.
Oh no, yeah, they're sitting there first, and Jenny comes out, and then she's like, "I pretty." First, she tries to have a go at him, right? Like, oh, I appreciate the chivalry and all that. He goes, no, I was just trying to help, someone.
Yeah.
Shouldn't...
Well, to be fair, I'm going to exaggerate because she wasn't really saying this. I didn't need no man. No, but she was not actually.
Yeah.
Because it's more like it could have been a situation that could have flared out of control. Because look at that dude. Look at that dude. You can see by his face straight up, right?
That he's
them
scars and whatnot. Before.
Yeah. Exactly. But I think she was like angry at the situation, but I'm not angry at him per se. But when you're like, he wasn't specifically a target. He could target her. She could target him now with her anger, right? Except that she's a bit too mature to do that.
Yeah.
But the fringes of it was there.
Yeah, it was there.
Yeah. But obviously she's like, no, actually, you're okay. You're okay, man. I see why you came. It made sense. I mean, it flared up and then it kind of died down because she realized, you know what?
Yeah,
he was just trying to help.
Yeah.
I
was like, good.
And then she's like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I mean, I got you fired. So if you come to Cord Industries, I will try and maybe get you a job there or something. I can't promise anything. And his sister's like, oh yeah, he's got a law degree.
Yeah.
Give him your number and stuff like that. Not helping the situation or whatsoever. Nope.
Make it even more awkward.
Yeah. She gives her number. He's like, I'll give you a call later or something. And she's like, because.
Yeah, because if you give me a call, I'll try and get you a job in another part of Cord Industries. Yeah, so take my number. And he's like, yeah, cool. All right.
Yeah, and then his sister's basically saying, "Oh, you fancy her? And
he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna say no, but."
Yeah. I mean, she's a good-looking chick, so you know what I mean. But at the same time, don't say that in front of her.
No, just ruining the whole thing. God.
Yeah. Actually, and I thought, okay, at this point, I was like, you know what? This it's gonna get him in the Blue Beetle suit pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because as soon as even though it's not saying it's predictable or not, but he's going to go there, and then the Scarab's going to be there, and then bam, movie's already started to go. You know?
Yeah.
Which technically is what happened. Yeah, not as quickly as I say it does, but I was like, they ain't mucking, not that they ain't mucking about, but they're going in from here to there with what in the first 20 minutes? Would you say?
Yeah.
It felt like to me it felt like 10-15 minutes. It couldn't have been that long, that quick though. I was thinking.
No, but it's kind of like there's no like lollygagging really. Like so just get to the point, which is
yeah. So he's getting his suit ready and everything. Like he's walking up to Cord Industries, looking at it somehow neon pink and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very I don't want to say futuristic, but it's like okay. And he's like, it's time to go in there, right? And then his family's all behind him.
Yeah.
Cheering him on and everything like. And he's like, oh no. And they're cheering his name and pumping their horns and stuff like that. And he's like, please. Please, people, please.
He's like, come on, man. You're embarrassing me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. And
so,
then, and his uncle's weird. No, I was just saying that his uncle is just super weird.
So, he goes in the building, says he's looking for Jenny Cord. The lady at reception's like, oh, actually, no, he goes in there, right? And then she's like, the, what's it called?
Yeah, the deliveries are at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
like, yeah. Because he's dressed in kind of, well, a smart looking suit stuff. He doesn't look like a delivery dude.
Yeah, so I was like, that's a bit of a...
Yeah, he just jumped from here to there.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
And then he's like, no, I'm here to see Jenny Cord. And she's like, the reception lady, do you have an appointment? And he goes, well, no, but she said for me to call her when I got... And she goes, you take a seat then. I'm like, okay. I mean...
Yeah, fine, that's a bit...
Yeah.
Bit weird, but alright, sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would expect her not necessarily have an appointment, but at least know what time,
of course.
Contact details at this point. But Jenny is actually in the middle of something else, which is she's dressed as one of the what's it called?
Lab techs.
Yeah, because she's got a face mask on and stuff like that. The breathing apparatus and whatnot. And she kind of shoulder bumps one of the dudes who actually works making the Omax and the Scarab and whatever it is. The tech guy, the Sanchez from earlier.
Yeah.
And she shoulder checks him and swipes his badge.
Yeah.
Goes in there to see what they're mucking about with. Finds the Blue Beetle Scarab and goes and yanks it out of the whatever it is, right? The tech.
Yeah.
Sees a box of fried chicken. And it's like, all right, let me dump that stuff out and put this in there because I can't walk out here with the alarms going off. I mean, if the alarms are going off and it can see me on screen with this thing.
Yeah.
So, no one's going to question me, by the way. A rich lady walking around with a box of fried chicken. Okay.
No.
A box of knockoff fried chicken as well. Not even.
Oh, no, it's the DC's version.
Big Belly Burger.
Yeah, Big Belly Burger. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So
good on them.
She's walking there. Jaime catches. She's in the lift and whatnot. Jaime catches her. He jumps from escalator to escalator, running up the down escalator as well, to catch her. But, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's me." She thought it was security, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, it's me, Jaime, from yesterday. You said you get me a job." And she's like, "There's not a good time right now."
Yeah. And he's like, "I'll do anything." And she's like, "Anything?"
Yeah, which would be way sus if it was the other way around, by the way.
Yeah, like, oh, power dynamics. Ooh. But yeah, she's like, anything. So like, okay, so I want you to take this box. Don't open it and just wait till I call you. And he's like, all right, sure. And he's super happy to do it, not knowing anything was going on.
Yeah. So while the alarms are going off and he's exiting the building, she's like, you, security guards, come with me this way.
Yeah.
Making herself look non-sus.
Which is hilarious.
Because she's getting security to come towards where she came from?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. But I guess in that situation, you would just try to do Hail Marys and go, no one's going to question you.
Yeah. So, like, you can't really. Just go the boss lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious. And then they take it back. And so Jaime takes it back to his house, and he's all like super excited about it. And the family's like, "Ain't gonna open it." He's like, "No, she told me not to," because Jaime's a stand-up guy. When someone tells him not to do something, he won't do it. And so and then they all start like trying to coax him on to open it.
Yeah.
And his sister takes it, and then she opens it. And he's like, "Oh, look at this!" He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they're all throwing it out, and then he catches it to try to put it back into the box. And this is when the beetle activates and jumps on his face like a face hugger from Alien.
Yeah.
So
everyone's all screaming and shouting and everything like that, and I was like, this is actually what. It's very realistic of what would actually happen when something like that goes. And I was laughing at the same time. I was like, oh, you know what? You laugh away is 100% true. That's what it was.
Yeah. So then the beetle starts taking over him, burning off all his clothes and everything.
Yeah.
And then,
which, by the way, does it do that in the comics?
It did at first.
Yeah.
I remember when he first gets the Blue Beetle, it does it. Or in Infinite Crisis, when he first gets it, it does that. And then I'm pretty sure afterwards it starts just like either it makes the clothes he wears or it just goes over the clothes. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Or nanotechnology, who knows?
Exactly.
Because that's what it's all about nowadays. And then so then the beetle takes over him, and then it takes him on a ride, and he gets to sort of learn how to use the Blue Beetle suit, but not properly.
It's testing, as far as it seems to me, it's testing the atmosphere as well as his physical abilities.
Yeah.
Like his physical capabilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going into space and whatnot. It's like testing the range of stuff. It's just flying about. It's actually crashing into pillars and stuff like that. Yeah. So I was like, whoa.
I was like, oh, this is hilarious. So so it takes him through space and stuff, and it starts and then it brings him back to the city where these three guys who just taking drugs, and they're like, dude, it hasn't kicked in yet.
Well, to be fair, you're 100% right, but that's part of the joke is where they talk about has it kicked in yet. So clearly they're on something, but they're not going to say that in the 12A film.
No. So then Blue Beetle falls through the sky, lands in a car in front of them. They're like, I think it's kicked in. And then Jaime gets up all confused and scared, like, oh, what the hell? Oh. And then he walks to the road, and he's about to get hit by a bus. So the Scarab does its self-defense thing.
Yeah.
And basically splits the bus in half, not killing anyone. And he's like, what are we doing?
Well, which is really, really strange, because you want to think, how come no one's sitting right in the center of the bus? No one's standing, no one anything?
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, okay, this must be a very quiet day then. If no one...
Not that I want to see people get split in half, but just logically, I think, unless you see, they should have probably had some people shuffling around.
Yeah.
From the center, at least that would have made it a bit less convenient.
Yeah, it made a little more sense, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So then, and then he goes to see if anyone's okay, and then the Scarab flies off again, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then somehow he gets back home.
Yeah, it takes him back home. It just takes him back home. Yeah. And then it disappears. It dematerializes from him, and he just flops on the floor, all naked. And they're like, "All right, cover him up."
Yeah. And then he wakes up naked, and he's like, "We was gonna tell you, but you just woke up," because he wakes up naked and starts panicking. They're like, "We was gonna tell you, but you just went all insane."
And
weapon.
Yeah. So at that point I was like, wow, either this film's really fast paced, or they were like, we're just gonna get here from here really quickly.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
No mucking about. No. Right, fair enough.
Yeah. So then he wakes up. That's it. He wakes up and he goes, okay, I had to go and find Jenny Cord, because she should know what to do with this.
Yeah, this thing that's burrowed its way into my back, and actually, when I look at my spine, the head of it's protruding.
Yeah, because that's another thing when he goes, how bad does it look? He goes, it's not that bad. He looks in the mirror. It's like, nice. Because, well, it doesn't look that bad from here.
Yeah.
And then they want to call the police, and the uncle, who's like a bit of a loose cannon, is like, no, you can't. Because if you do, the police will come here and all this, and then, we're Mexicans, and two of us we're here illegally, and they're like, okay, we can't call the police. And that's when Jaime's like, I'm gonna go to Jenny, and he steals his uncle's car to go and drive to Jenny's house.
Well, he drives through Cord Industries.
Yeah. And then
so he's outside Cord Industries because he's gonna obviously thinking, all right, I'm gonna get in here to find this lady. Yeah. Except that she's crawling out.
Yeah.
Behind cars, hiding away, and he's like, "Oh hey, yeah, just the person I was looking for." And she's like, "Shh, shh, shh." And then you see all these security come out with guns and everything, like, "Whoa, no!"
Yeah, and she goes, "Go, go, go, go!" He's like, "Okay, I'm still confused. What's going on here?" And then he starts shooting, like, "Oh!" And they just drive off. Like, oh,
yeah,
that is hilarious.
Yeah. So they take her back to his place. They're trying to get her to explain what's going on.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's the scarab, it has to choose its host. And they were like, actually, where is the scarab? And he's like, here.
Yeah.
Right in my back, in my neck, it's burrowed in me, actually.
Yeah. His uncle goes, yeah, it went up his butt. He's like, no, it didn't go up my butt.
Yeah. Yeah, Uncle Rudy. What a joker, right? Making situations completely... Oh, but I'll play this as well, because, when he burst out of his own house and everything like that, through the roofs and everything like that. Oh, lucky it's not been rainy, because it'd be more comedic if they just had rain coming in through the holes.
Yeah.
But I guess, if you're filming it probably is not going to be good to reset that every single time.
Yeah, no. Oh.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, well, I've got to... And he's like, all right, well, I'll help you get that out of you, but I need to go back to Cord Tower to get something that belongs to my father.
Yeah.
A key card sort of thing, but not really.
Wait, what?
Because she called it a key card or something, because I think it was the smartwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it opens up. Anyways, they need to get that. They're like, we need to break into Cord Tower because it's got all security and everything like that. And Uncle Rudy's like, what kind of security? Because I've developed this device, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, he's got some troubled past, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where he's been acting shady, and not like making growing marijuana in your basement kind of shady. More like stuff he's been illegally. Disabling cars or stuff like that?
Something.
Yeah. Which is like, all right, no questions, because
he's got a backstory that way.
Yeah. But we will leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because we don't want no one to get into trouble about anything.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Somebody's got this device that can stop alarm systems and can block out infrared lasers and all that motion detection and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, he's either a genius or through the years and years of trial and error, he worked it out. Because dude looks... I don't know, how would you say he looked? But he looks old, right? He looks like he's been around.
Yeah.
And if they're saying, he's like that since he was, like, whenever they came. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must have been doing some shady stuff.
Yeah, he's been through things.
Yeah.
You could tell. Yeah.
He's had a life.
Yes, that's the best way of putting it. He had a life.
So they break into that. Well, I didn't even break into it, right? Because basically they set off the device.
Yeah.
And then the other people just... Jaime and Jenny just walk into Cord Tower while the security guards are wondering what's going on because they get some Mexican cartoon playing on their screens.
Yeah, some weird Mexican superhero thing. I don't know.
Yeah. And so they just nab the watch, they walk out, right? And they're walking to... They're taking a long way to the car or something like that? Because for some reason, they didn't look like the same way they came in.
No, it doesn't, no.
Yeah. But maybe they can't go the same way they came in because their security's coming.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to say anyways, right?
Yeah.
And then, they go to leave. Security calls saying we need help. And Scarred Dude Victoria's bodyguard, he's like the other end of the exit.
Yeah.
The walkway exit, you know, that's outside of the building.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see mecha parts on him, and you're like, right, okay.
Okay, I don't know what this is. He's like, oh, he's got that thing that Victoria showed in that video earlier. Okay.
Yeah, he's got some of that, right? And yeah. So Jaime has a tussles with the guy.
Yep.
Where Scrap's like, oh, should I murder him?
Yeah, and he's like, no, we're not murderers. Why would you do this?
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, but all my fancy weaponry, like lethal enforcement. No, none of that, please. Can we just have what's it called?
Could we just not say that?
Non-lethal weaponry.
Yeah, non-lethal. Yeah.
Detain
a dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Even though he's busting out. I really think they should have said he'd done some martial arts training when it was at the other wherever he was. Why? Because sorry?
No, because I just took it as it's the suit doing all of it, not him.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like
really...
that's what I was like. That's what I took it as, because I don't want to say dude there's no capability or not, but firing the thing and pointing it and shooting, fine, right, you got targets. But then when the suit like takes over your body to do spin kicks and stuff like that, I'm like, okay. I mean, not to say if he was just standing there and punched them like a brawler, that'd make more sense, right? But then you say he has the skills to do spin kicks and whatnot, and I'm sure, as you know, jumping spin kick ain't easy to do.
Nah, again, the suit, man. The suit wants to live, so he'll do anything.
I suppose, I mean, yeah, alright.
That's how I took it.
It just comes up, have you ever seen Tuxedo with Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just comes off like that, where Jackie Chan's capable of doing everything in all his movies, right? Except for Tuxedo. That it doesn't make him any special to have the Tuxedo do it.
Yeah, but for the story it does.
What, in the Jackie Chan movie?
Yeah. Because he's just some normal guy. He's not a martial artist or anything, so it makes sense for the suit to be...
it's just that Jackie Chan, you just expect... even though no matter what character Jackie Chan plays, he's always able to have these skills that every single Jackie Chan character does, except for the one that's in Tuxedo.
Yeah, but if you're like a 10-year-old kid, you're not going to know who Jackie Chan is, so it's not making any difference.
Alright, if you say so. Okay, no, but I it's just like the stuff. Yeah, like you're saying, I took it as the suit was doing everything for him.
Yeah,
which means like he's a bit of an autopilot thing. So
yeah, that's how it is at the first beginning with him. Even in the comics, at first, that's how it is, and then he learns when he joins the Teen Titans and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So the bodyguard, he's like, all right, well, Omac style, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he starts getting a bit more mecha stuff on him.
Yeah.
Fighting Jaime, who is at this point also trying to fight the Blue Beetle kind of control, because the Blue Beetle's like, nah, we should probably just murder this guy. And he's like, wait, no, that's not how. I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to have a criminal record right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a job.
Yeah. So they're not in sync.
No,
is what's going on here.
They're not a partnership yet.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but the autopilot of the Blue Beetle is just like destroying this dude. Well, not destroying him, but he's like, yeah, this dude's got no chance. The bodyguard, right?
Yeah.
But he does get an advantage later on. I think, was it Jaime goes to... He gets distracted?
I think the suit's getting battered, and then the uncle and the not Victoria, Jennifer get in a truck and drive it, and then they do a hand.
But I'm thinking up to that point, because he had the advantage all the way for most of that.
He got distracted by when he started shooting the uncle and Jenny.
Yeah. Because he was going to heal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the beginning of the fight was kind of funny, because Jaime's like, no, we could talk this out. We don't need to fight. We don't need to fight, man. And the guy's still trying to smash him with cars and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, actually, to the Blue Beetle tech, actually, I think we do need to fight. I think actually at this point, he ain't listening.
He's like, no, me too.
But yeah. So they're fighting around. Blue Beetle's having a decent advantage until he was gonna start shooting innocent civilians and stuff like that.
As you do.
At this point, innocent civilian being his uncle and Jenny called.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna curb stomp." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, because he puts his the way Jaime was like crawling to the curb, I was like, "Oh my goodness, is this what this bodyguard's gonna do?" And I don't believe I actually believe legit that he would curb stomp a 20-year-old something kid because of the face, the way he looked, right? Nothing else, right? Just the menace of the way he looked.
He just seemed like someone who just was angry.
Yeah.
He's done some things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Rudy and Jenny, like Rudy's like to Jenny, right? When I tell you pull the brake hard on this, I'm gonna go at a high speed, so you need to hold on.
Yeah.
So then they drive the car. The headlights are heading towards the bodyguard. He turns because otherwise he would have just curb stomped Blue Beetle. And then they hit the brake real hard, and they have the device, the big massive whatever radio blocker it is. The device, it flies off the back of the car because they did a hard right, and just tumbles over into the bodyguard, who then gets crushed by some cars, and he's like, out of the fight for a little bit, and then they pick up Jaime. Somehow, actually, don't even pick him up. Magically, he's in the car, right? Because the next scene cuts.
Yeah.
And then he's all naked. He's telling Jenny not to look back there.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay. How did we get to this point? But whatever, sure. That's how I was like, okay, whatever, sure. Makes sense.
Reader's like, I got some t-shirt. You go and wear that, right? And then Jenny's like, all right, well, look, we need to get to this location, so I'll guide you. And then where they end up is at Ted Cord's mansion, which is disheveled.
Yeah.
No one's been there for like what? Since she was 8 years old. Yeah. And I don't know how old she is, but clearly in her 20s.
I think she's like, she's probably same age as Jaime, I think. Say like 22. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so like 15 years or something like that. Yeah. And she's she activates the Blue Beetle cave essentially.
Yeah. There's a name for it, and I've legit forgot. I used to know what the name of his cave was. But yeah, whatever.
Well, we just call it the Beetle.
We just call it
the Beetle cave, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, and you see a Ted Cord suit. You see a Ted Cord Blue Beetle suit there, and I'm like, oh, actually, it's a good looking suit.
Yeah.
He's probably just rubber with the stuff, kind of like spray paint. The things like lined up on it. But I was like, actually, that's a very accurate suit.
And you also see the Dan Garrett's suit as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, and this is why at this point I was like, you know what? The thing that DC always had as an advantage over Marvel is that they had legacy characters.
Yeah.
So they should concentrate on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's people before the people. Actually speaking, Jaime Reyes is the third Blue Beetle in this continuity as well.
Yeah, they even say that, don't they? So I was like, that's pretty cool. All right,
yeah. All right. And I believe they said something about Dan Garrett already having the Scarab.
Yeah, but he didn't have he couldn't activate it. But it gave him and Ted inspiration to all the stuff they made.
But Ted never actually had the Blue Beetle Scarab.
Yeah.
What the movie tells us anyway. And the same in the comic books anyway.
Yeah, but same in the comic books, yeah.
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 So no wonder he had to create all the other tech.
Yeah. Ooh, Blue Beetle.
Yeah. So then the uncle's like, oh yeah, let me research some of all these other files of stuff going on. While Jaime, you gotta get some clothes because you're just in a t-shirt right now.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, your t-shirt stinks. And he goes, I got it from you. He's like, ooh, that means you stink.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. So so he's up there, he gets changed, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm looking good in this ski looking suit. No, not a ski suit, but he's like one of those casual winter wear sort of things.
Yeah. It looked like a ski Something that you wear like on a ski resort or something. Yeah, it looked like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then Jenny's putting in the backstory of how she'd been there for like her dad's disappeared for however many amount of years. Victoria's basically taken over the company, but she shouldn't be running it because she's running it like militarizing everything and stuff like that.
Yeah,
she's trauma dumping.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And Hamei's like, she calls herself out on it. What am I telling you this stuff?
Yeah.
And Hamei's like, no, it's all right, man. It's all good. It's all good. I mean, like, you know, my family's poor, so we don't have everything and stuff like that. But you know, we're unit. That's our thing, you know. But I can see you are rich people. You don't have money, but it doesn't solve all your problems either.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then they lean forward for the kiss, and Rudy pops in, and then he's like, "Oh, maybe I should have come back or something like that."
Yeah.
Now I thought at this point, right? I think that personally they could have done it without the love story or anything like that. They didn't necessarily need it.
No.
Because only this point, and only at the end is there any romance. I mean, through the movie, there is an attraction between the characters.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to, if they didn't want to, make it a romantic sort of attraction.
Yeah.
You know? Which I don't know if I would say it would have been better or not. It's just like in these movies where you have the lead or you know, the couple.
Yeah.
They do end up getting together a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe they'll just save for the sequel. To be fair, they may not even... At this point, they probably were like in limbo in regards to the DC universe. So they're like, you know, we'll just do what we need to do for our story. And that's
that. But I kind of liked how the romance was sort of there, but it wasn't a main thing of the story.
Yeah.
Kind of like, like in Shang-Chi, where there was no romance, we're just like two good friends. Yeah. Yeah. Which I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Uncle Rudy, what's he find down there?
He found out about the scarab and how it's trying to latch onto Jamie on Jaime's brain, and then that's when Jenny's like, yeah, it's become symbiotic now. It's trying to pair with you. And he's like, oh.
And they're like, well, there's good news and there's bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is that it can be detached from you. The bad news is that you have to be dead.
Yeah. It's like, ooh.
And he's like, how is that anything to do with good news whatsoever? Yeah. And he's like, well, it won't stay with you forever.
But
you know, it'll come apart from you when you're dead. So you know, at least it won't forcibly keep you immortal. I don't know.
Like, you know, swings and roundabouts. And he went off on one. I was like, no, my life is basically over. And you're like, but dude, you're basically immortal, technically. Not immortal, but you're like genetically enhanced now. Life is on the up and up now for you. You know,
and he's like, shut, this ain't good. Oh, yeah. And he's kind of like, you know, no, this can't be. And then he just kind of like walks away in a huff.
Yeah.
Jenny's about to go chase after him, but Uncle Rudy's like, no, I'll do it. I know where he's going to go. Don't worry. So he's at the roof of the Cord Mansion, and Uncle Rudy walks up there and he goes, look, man, I get what's going on. You know, my life didn't expect it to be like this way. I mean, all the time they thought the entire family was carrying me for my entire life. So yeah. It ain't good to have baggage.
You're like,
I always thought I was a disappointment to them, but you know, we like Vin Diesel, we're family. Yeah, and to be fair to Jaime, he's like, yeah, no, I didn't mean to go for you and Uncle Rudy. I just didn't expect this thing to kill me, kind of.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'll get you.
Yeah, exactly. I calm down. It's
like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like, I would probably act the same too if I just, found out this about my life. Well, okay.
Yeah, and then Jenny runs up and he goes, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that?" And it's Cortec helicopters. And now, they're going to drop into the Cord Mansion because that's worked out. What they clearly realized that there was something going on from the Blue Beetle tech. No, apparently they just fly over it.
No, yeah, just fly over.
And then they're like, "Where are they flying to?" And the homie's like, "Oh, they're going to our house."
Yeah. Like,
and then he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna Blue Beetle over there, right? I know how to do this." And he kind of just stands up straight, puts his arms up, and goes, "Blue Beetle," or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
They're like, okay.
And then he's just standing there going, "All right, let's go, and come on, and beetle up," or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, they're like, okay.
No. And then really like, yeah, I mean, like you said, this thing protects you from any danger, right? So, maybe there's something to that. Maybe it only activates when you're in danger. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I've got a good idea." And he runs back, runs forward, jumps off the mansion, yeah, and they're like, "Oh, that's not gonna be good. No, that's not a good idea."
Yeah.
And then the Blue Beetle thing envelopes all over him.
Yeah.
And he flies over to where his house is, where his family is getting accosted by Ted Industries, Cortec Industry guards or whatever they are. When you're gonna harass who you're gonna harass at that point, right? Victoria, you're gonna heal up when you're gonna heal up.
Yeah, you're like, okay. Makes sense.
They take them out, and I'm like, wow, look at these people, just like random. As far as everyone thinks, right? Just some random Mexican families getting bullied by a conglomerate.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Yeah. And then they're like, when they're outside, I think you got the grandma, the dad, the mum, the sister.
Yeah.
And Victoria's like, "Where's the kid? Where's the kid?" That's who we want, right? That's who we need.
Yeah.
And Jaime then, like, they got all the guards all pointing guns and everything like that. And I think they when they're shoving them out of the house, they knocked over a candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the house is on fire behind them, right?
Yeah.
Jaime calls out to get all the guns focused on him, and then he goes. He's bulletproof already, but he just calls the bulletproof force field over his family.
Yeah.
And then Victoria's like, yes, like in Bison in the Street Fighter cartoon, yes. She's like, all right, test all his capabilities. Yeah, we do that. And they start just generally being out of order.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's not.
Harry's like, well, okay, no lethal weaponry. We're just gonna take these people down creatively with whatever devices we're gonna come up with. Repulsor rays, big
repulsor rays.
Yeah. Force fields and stuff like that. Yeah. Jackhammer. Yeah.
Not the rest of them.
The Guyver Mega Smashers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they what's it called? They've got an anti-Blue Beetle device or whatever it is, right? The hook.
Yeah, the claw, as they called it. Yeah.
So Jaime's like, oh, you know what? Yeah. Jaime's like telling his family to get out of there while he's beating up everybody, or they kind of trying to overwhelm him.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna try and take. Like they got the claw to shoot at him, and he's got his double guns that he's put his palms together to do a huge Kamehameha, maybe?
Yeah.
Cannon? I don't know. But then his dad just kind of
has a heart attack.
Yeah. His dad just kind of drops down, and he sees on his Blue Beetle headset.
Yeah. It says cardiac arrest.
Yeah. And then instead of being a light green outline around live people, it's turning red.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, and then that's when they claw him, and I was like, oh, that's heartless, right there, right?
Yeah, this bit was so out of order. I was like,
like he's just screaming, Dad, because his dad's dying in front of him, and all the people that are like Victoria's like, nah, let's grab the dude and just take him away, I was like, well,
so messed up.
I think did they kind of knock him out as well? And they just leave the family of their burning house.
Yeah.
And their dying dad in the rain.
Yep. Super messed up.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I was quite upset about this whole bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
All the families like screaming, like the daughter's proper screaming.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, that's well done right there. Because I was like, oh man, the heartlessness of the entire situation just makes you just more sympathetic to the Reyes family there.
Yeah. You're like, oh wow.
Yeah. So the grandma, who seems to be the most together out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because she's got her own secrets herself.
Yeah.
She's like, no, now is not the time. Now is not the time to be sad or nothing like that, right? Yeah, we lost our house and we lost my son. Well, is it her son?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jaime's been kidnapped, right? But we need to rescue him, and that's what our number one priority is. And then when Jenny and Rudy reached there, I thought they were going to blast Jenny, you know that, for no reason. No reason, but like, oh, it's your fault, whatever. But no, they're like, all right, we've got to rescue Jaime. How are we going to do this? Yeah, because they're like ignoring the fact that they've got to storm a building with nothing, right?
Yeah.
But Jenny's like, I got stuff. Come to the cord cave essentially, and they start picking up all their Blue Beetle tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, yep, this is how we're gonna get. And then Rudy's like somehow, so he's in the Blue Beetle. Oh no, they're in the Blue Beetle bug.
Yeah, I can't remember what that's called as well. Like I was sitting, I was like, I know the name for this, and I've forgotten what it is. I wouldn't say it's a scarab, but I don't think that's what it's called. But hey,
yeah. So he's flying it, so clearly he has some history of something, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say he's got these skills out of nowhere, but he's got some engineering capabilities. I'm 100% on that.
The bug. It's called the bug. Sorry.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
And then they're like, okay, how are we gonna get in? How are we gonna do anything to wherever they've taken Jaime? Because Jenny's like, I know where they've taken him. All right.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, we got this cool tech that's in the what's it called? That's in the bug.
Yeah.
And then Grandma, so the sister is like, all right, there's some sort of nanotech force field Nintendo glove.
Yeah, the power glove. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes the shape of a fist, but also can create a shield and stuff. Like, all right, okay. And then they're like, Nana, what are you gonna have? She pulls out a rail gun.
Yeah, some Rubik's Cube looking rail gun. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then she lets her hair down. She goes, I had a life before all this.
Yeah.
You know? And we're like, no questions.
Yep. Not gonna ask.
Yeah. That can only lead to things we don't want to hear.
Yeah. Stuff that you have to testify about in court. Yeah, you don't.
yeah, exactly. So they're like, all right, we're going to get to the mystery island of wherever they've taken Jaime. And our plan is to... You guys go to Jenny and the sister go to the generators. We'll cause a distraction up here. We'll break whatever it is, and then you guys can get in there and rescue Jaime, and then we'll all leave. Yep. Except plans like that never go accordingly.
No, never.
They're flying towards the island. They just crash into it.
Yep.
And then so then he gets to pincer legs out, and while it's knocking over people, fair enough. But he actually janks someone.
Yep, he steps right through someone and walks with him and then flicks them off. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow. And they're like, did you see that? Oh yeah, I got to pick up. I'm like, well, unless he's going to say these security guards are just mechs and not people, that ain't funny.
They killed his dad, so.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, in the Blue Beetle,
yeah.
so in Black Panther, where what's her name, the sister,
Shuri. Yeah.
Shuri just ran over some dude in the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's kind of like an off-key joke. I mean, in something like a Quentin Tarantino movie, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But you know, he's like, yeah, it's like, what was that bump? No, just continue. It's like, well, you, okay.
Yeah, I kind of sitting there like, that's a bit okay. We can't really cross past
anyways, we're gonna assume all these faceless security guards are either part mecha or you know, all evil jabronis, because
or mindless drones.
Yeah. So they cause the distraction there while the sister and Jenny sneak in elsewhere.
Yeah.
They're hiding. They then bump backwards and they see a whole mass of OMAC. What's it called? I don't want to say starter suits, but you know the You know the units.
Yeah.
Units where you stick into people and then but yeah, it's all connected up there. And the reason they've got Jaime is they're trying to get the code from the Scarab in order then to run the same code through the OMAC so they can control it the same way. And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
To make it symbiotic.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what you know, like how the Iron Man suit can do whatever Tony Stark says, right? Or thinks, but somehow it's not 100% like that.
Yeah,
because fair enough if his voice acts made commands or anything like that, but you know when the suit can just do something and you're like, wait a minute, he's thinking it. How can it?
Extremist. Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah. And it was whatever Tony Stark. He's injecting whatever into his body. So you can say, okay, fine, Tony Stark can do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so fair enough. I mean, they're applying logic to their one-man army corps suits.
Yeah.
To do what you'd be capable of thinking, and to be fair as well, the Scarab has way more advanced thought to processing technology, kind of, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
So they are got Jaime. They're downloading the Blue Scarab code, which also can kill him. Sanchez is like,
because they're not But it kind of explains why it doesn't kill him afterwards. But
yeah. It's like Sanchez is like, we shouldn't be doing this and blah blah blah. And Victoria's like, shut up, Sanchez.
Yeah.
And but he's like, what if he dies? And she's like, wait, if he dies, she's like, I'm a Drago.
Yeah, if he dies, he dies.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, okay.
Sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's a bit extreme, but
I mean, like, you know, murdering kids ain't unfamiliar territory. This lady, it seems, you know.
No.
I don't want to say Susan Sarandon is hamming up on anything, but she knows what she has to play, and she knows how to get the reactions that she's trying to get.
Yeah.
So Jaime then has a vision of himself and his dad in wherever it is, right? The afterlife.
Yeah.
And his dad, like, yeah, I mean, look, or everything that we have given you has led to this point. Like, you know, we made sacrifices for you so you could be who you are. And you should, like, let us not. No, you didn't say let me not die in vain or anything, because, like, if you it's not your time to die.
Yeah.
You need to be one with the Scarab. And as a father, let me say this is the last thing to you, like, as my son, because it's not your time to go. You shouldn't be coming with me in this direction.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right. The Scarab's been talking to him all this time, and he's been like trying to fight against it. And he's like, all right, well, he sees the Blue Beetle suit in there wherever it is, like, while the afterlife is falling apart behind him.
Yeah.
And he's jumping forward into the space atmosphere where the Blue Beetle suit is, and they do the Michelangelo finger touch, and bam, they kind of we wakes up and it says rebooting. The Blue Beetle suit rebooting, while then it's finished downloading into Victoria's bodyguard.
Yeah.
The symbiosis tech, whatever it is. And Sanchez is like, all right, well, it looks like first of all, Jaime is just trying to punch the door down. Obviously he can't because it's not powered up. The Blue Beetle suit's not powered up, but he's just trying to bang it to get out.
Yeah.
And the Sanchez runs over to him and he presses the code. And I thought, Sanchez, they're both going to get out, right? And Sanchez is like, go, save your family, and because this is all wrong.
Yeah.
Punches the code, closes the door, smashes the key code, the button combination, and then Victoria's like, what are you doing, Sanchez? And then Sanchez says, my name has never been Sanchez. My name is, and he reels off some long off Mexican name.
Yeah.
That I can't repeat because I don't have, but the jokes of it is just massive.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Sanchez whatsoever in it.
Nope.
Maybe all the other stereotypical Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever names, right?
Yeah.
But definitely not Sanchez.
No. And then...
and then he's like, we'll all go down together, kind of. I mean, that's kind of... I think his intention was because they can't break out.
Yeah.
They will just die there.
Yeah.
Except that he gets ganked right off.
Yep. He goes to Jamie, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then he's splat of blood on the door. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, and then Victoria's bodyguards all super Omic powered up.
Yeah.
Like Frieza, like second form Frieza.
Yes. Yeah, with the shoulder pads. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but he's leveled up at that point, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then Jaime's like still rebooting, and he's just still running.
Yeah.
I think there's a collapse somewhere where so what's her name? Jenny and Jaime's sister are running out for the building they take to explode. Like they would call they caused the explosion just as the symbiosis was happening.
Yeah.
And that was partially why Sanchez what's it called? Thought they were all gonna die there together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Jaime's running off. The sister, what's it called? Did they find what? Yeah, there's a collapse in the tunnel somewhere, right?
Yeah, because the sister and Jenny get separated. Yeah.
Yeah. Jenny gets found by Victoria.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a locket. There's a locket where Victoria's bodyguard's always looking at this locket thing, and I just assumed it was his wife and kid or something like that.
Same.
And I thought, okay.
Something like that. Okay.
I thought he was going to do a heel turn. No, a face turn towards the end of it, because it's like never, other than the way he looked, there was never been to him that he was evil.
No, nothing at all.
So I was like, all right, maybe he's just going to be like, you know what, lady, you don't own me.
Yeah. You don't own me.
Yeah, but no, that's not. You know, there's still a bit more to the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Grandma saves Jaime.
Yeah.
From all the Ted called guards or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, did she just mow people down with a railgun?
Yeah.
But when she goes and when they come from the other entrance, she starts shooting that railgun as well. But it's not really a railgun, is it? It's more kind of
like a laser sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but cool.
Yeah, and then they get back onto the bug, and they're like, "Where's Jenny and the sister?" They're still in the cave somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, okay, I gotta save them. I gotta, we can't leave them out there." And then his mom's like, "Look, yeah, all right, come here, Jaime, just before you go." First of all, come back in one piece, and secondly, you, Scarab, I know you guys are having your differences, right? But you need to get your stuff together.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're both not going to come out of this alive, and I can't have more people die on me.
Yeah.
So please, right?
Like, okay.
Yeah. So then Suits rebooted, and it's like, yeah, the sister is using the Cortec Nintendo Power Glove to protect herself with the shield, but it seems like the more you hit it, the more depleted it gets.
Yeah.
And then Jaime's like, all right, people, power up time, and he's coming up sparkling like a Super Saiyan level 2.
Yeah.
Electric tech.
Yeah.
And he's just destroying all the guards out that put in front of him.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
Yeah. He's making a mockery of them.
It was amazing.
And then, he what's it called? But then he gets. I think they see a red light or something like that, and it's Victoria's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And then Jaime's like, we take him before we can take him again. And the Scarab's like, nah, he's actually quite a bit more powerful
now, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was going to be one of those things where you're like, so they're fine. Actually, it's a decent fight. Jaime's like coming out with the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII. I was like, all right.
That was dope. I was like, I get the reference.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay, so Victoria's bodyguard is going to use tech that he knows how to use, like create, like, I don't want to say plain weaponry, but the more straightforward weaponry, because that's the stuff you know, right? If you use, and I thought Jaime was going to come up with more wackier stuff because he's been playing video games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he'd come up with stuff that is theoretically actually not possible. So if you bust out with a gunblade or something like that, I'd be like, oh yes.
Like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And silly, but yeah.
Yeah. But all that video game weaponry that is just not possible in real life, but the Scarab can create possible. I thought it was going to be like that. Practicality versus fantasticality.
Yeah.
No, but it didn't go that way.
No.
It didn't go that way. He was using his Buster Sword. He was like, yeah, all right, you take my wings, I take your wings. That sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's like super petty. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a decent tussle. I wouldn't say too much. I mean, it is the CG tussle, kind of, but not to the level of Black Panther.
Yeah, not to that level, no. Where it just became a CGI mess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rudy's like trying to. I think Jaime's in trouble again, and then Rudy starts throwing stuff from the building. You attack one of us, you attack all of us, right?
Yeah. Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's like, but then Victoria's bodyguard's like, well, F this, and he starts shooting at Rudy, and obviously you don't see anything, so you don't know if he's dead or not. But then Jaime's like, Super Saiyan level 3.
Yep.
Yeah. With his mask cracked in half and everything like that. Yeah. So, yeah, and then yeah. Oh, what would you say it's the Vegeta Vegeta theme music played? Hell's Bells, is that the theme music? I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah. Anyways, he does the super power up, yeah, and he's like, you know what? Lethal weaponry enforced straight up.
Yeah, like let's kill this mother.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
And he's like pinning him. That he's just blasting him with high power everything, and he pins him down with the like Blue Beetle, hollow light. Hard light cuffs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pins him to the ground. The Scarab's like, look, we've got him. You've got him. There's you don't need to take it further. And Jaime's like, no, this is gonna go as far as it needs to go. Yeah. And he just waits. He's just gonna shank the guy right in the face.
Yeah.
And the Scarab stops him.
Yep. He goes.
Like, I thought he stopped. Like in the thing, I thought he stopped himself.
Yeah.
Right. But no. Like an inch away from this guy's face, the Scarab actually pulled back. Jaime. And basically, it's like, look, he's not a bad guy either. He's just in a bad situation. Have a look. I downloaded his memories.
Yeah, and you find out about his terrible past. Like, oh wow.
Yeah. Go on. You fill it in.
Oh, like you find out that like he's basically a child of war because he's from some unnamed country, and he witnesses his mum getting blown up by like a carpet bomb. And then he gets put into like a child soldier program.
Yeah.
Super messed up. And you see him like having to shoot someone when he was a kid. It is messed up.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow.
Trauma in the heart.
Yeah.
I think he steps on a mine or something like that, and then his body needs to get replaced, and that's why all the tech is. And then he feels kind of indebted to Victoria because she saved him. At the same time, it was her tech.
Yeah.
That caused it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to say she wiped his memories or stuff like that, but
she kind of did.
Yeah. Well, he's had some issues with his like his mind or whatever. It's not that he's a psycho or anything, but I think he can only recall a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Scarab also downloaded the memories back to him as well, so he unlocked it. All that stuff in the background. And so the locket that he's got is not his wife and kid. It's actually him and his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man. And we judged him just because of his face.
Yep. I was like, oh, I feel bad for judging this guy.
But then again, at the same time, he was loyal to her for reasons that she said rather than what actual reasons were. Because, like, we fixed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saved you.
Yeah.
Like, no, you caused a lot of stuff. You caused a lot of the problems. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you made this worse, if anything. But, all right,
yeah.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Jaime then holds out his hand, and the guy takes it, and they're like, you know what?
Take your family and go.
Yeah, no. But to that degree, they're like, look, we're not actually enemies.
Yeah.
That's it's not me against you. We don't have any actual beef.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we all know who's to blame. So I think Victoria's in her helicopter, which Jenny's in, and Jenny uses some Blue Beetle tech, the bubble gum.
Yeah.
explosive bubblegum, whatever it is, and they just kind of it destroys the helicopter. They both fly out of it in the protective bubblegum shield, which then falls apart once it starts hitting the ground.
Yeah.
She's got the OMAC text. She's like, you know what, on this phone, I'm gonna have everything anyway, so I don't care about nothing else. That boy can die, that bodyguard can die, we don't care. And then Jenny just stomps on the phone and goes, I don't think so. She's like, no.
Okay.
And then she's like telling her bodyguard to go murder Jaime and Jenny. And bodyguard just kind of walks over to her. It's like, nah, that ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
You come with me, right?
Yep.
While everything's on a fire, like the whole thing's on fire in the background because they blew it up. He's grabbing her by the scruff of her collar and he just starts walking into the fire.
Yeah.
All right. And the Blue Beetle Scarab's like, Jaime's like standing there because he's like to Jenny, you go to the Blue Beetle Scarab bug. I'm gonna stay here because I think he's thinking, okay, maybe he'll stop the guy, the bodyguard killing Victoria or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do, but he's just like, look, I've just stopped. The Blue Beetle has stopped me murdering this guy. Maybe I can save this guy as well, sort of, from having to have a life like that. Anyways, the Scarab's like, Jaime, we gotta kind of actually get out of here because if he does blow up in that OMAC suit, he's gonna destroy the entire island, and you ain't gonna survive that.
Yeah, we might be impervious to bullets, but not that kind of explosion.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. And he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. So even if you're gonna fight him to do it,
Yeah. He's like, oh.
he's gonna blow up regardless. So yeah. So then he runs off. The island explodes.
Yep.
He's running up through the flames, jumps out through the flames, gets onto the Blue Beetle Scarab thing, climbs up, and then I think Uncle Reed had to put it into overdrive to drive out the
flame.
nuclear detonation, whatever's happening behind.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Yeah. And and then afterwards they what's it called? They then mourn Daddy Reyes' death.
Yeah. Like, oh, Daddy Reyes.
Yeah, they all have a group hug.
Yeah.
And then they give the hand signal to Jenny to join the family hug. Because they probably in effect her family member also died, even though she didn't care about them,
No.
Like it's a whole and when you think about it, the amount of guards that were on that island died as well,
Yeah. You can't deserve that, to be fair. But,
I mean, the guy who did all the blowing up, to be fair, he
Yeah.
he was having his vengeance.
Yeah, because again, you can't really blame any of them,
So Jenny takes over Cord Industries and says that we're going to repair all the damage that it all caused. We're going to fix the Reyes house and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think they had all the community come over to have a barbecue or something like that.
Oh no, it was a memorial for the dad.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, the Reyes family, they just must be like the heart of that community because no one questioned about anything.
No.
Why them high-tech guards come in, whatever. These families all good, man, I swears.
It's like, oh, okay. Just
Yeah.
no questions.
Yeah, Jenny drives over there on her motorcycle. She's like, yeah, we'll whatever you need, Cord Industry will be there to help you.
Yeah.
And then Jaime's like, what about a job?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. And then he walks her over to her motorcycle, and what's he say to her?
I can drop you back to the office.
Yeah.
And he's like, how? He goes, oh, why would you like to know? And then he Blue Beetles out.
Wait. Then the Blue Beetle thing goes, oh, I can see blood rush to his midsection.
Yeah.
And he's like, shut up. And then Jenny's like, what? She goes, no, not you.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, and then he's like, then his family is like he kisses Jenny, and then his family's once again embarrassing him to death, and he's like, oh, you fams, such jokers.
Yeah, it's like, family, am I right?
Yeah, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah.
And then he Blue Beetle's up holding Jenny, and they fly off to the sky.
And that's
and then
no, it's not yet.
Yeah.
Then
End credits roll.
Yeah.
then partially from the Blue Beetle cave, Ted called has a message playing.
Yeah.
You tell I don't know how long I've been here, blah blah blah. But if you contact my daughter Jenny.
Oh no,
she needs to
it's not him either. It goes, oh, tell her that her father's alive.
Oh yeah, well no, I thought it was him.
Nah, it wasn't.
Telling whoever, I thought it was him, but he was talking to whoever was in the cave. You know.
Nah.
Okay. Well, to be fair, it could be Dan Garrett as well. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the way, by the way, they didn't lock onto who Ted was, as in all the pictures you see of him painted up.
Yeah.
He looks like bearded Chris Evans, but he's not, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's abstract, so you don't know.
Guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So even when they did this distorted voice recording, it could they could cast whoever they want still.
Yeah.
As Ted called it. Yeah, and then that's that. Except for I think did you stay to the very end?
Yeah, there's nothing at the end. Just that Mexican cartoon again.
Big extended version of the Mexican cartoon with Uncle Rudy saying, "Ooh, that's sexy."
Yeah.
At the end, yeah. That was that. So that was that. Yeah. Like you say, like I was saying earlier, I enjoyed it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Family action orientated film.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. I like.
Yeah. The only things that I can say about it is that sometimes these things are, like predictability is not necessarily a bad thing, but it goes the way of stuff that you kind of expect it to.
Yeah.
In some ways, because it's an origin film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see. Yeah, I get what you mean. Ooh.
But it's not overly CG or anything like that.
No.
It doesn't scream at. Yeah. I think they had a decent amount of budget.
Yeah.
And they used it well.
Yeah. It was a very good, enjoyable film. Yeah, I highly enjoyed it. Like the family aspect of it all. Yeah, man, great film.
Yeah, and I like that they just kind of concentrated on a specific set of characters rather than stuffing too much in there and stuff like that. Because you're like, it's the whole key point is that the entire Raiders family.
Yeah.
And if you don't buy them, you don't really. The rest of the movie is like what you don't really. You're like whatever.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're like, oh,
yeah,
whatever.
But yeah, it leaves enough strings for stuff to continue onwards. Without, if nothing happens, then nothing happens. You know.
Yeah. But it was good. Very good. I'll tell people go see it. Go see it.
Yeah. It did not have anything to do, like, no Aquaman or anything like that, because I think Aquaman's the next film, right?
Yes.
Because it doesn't know if it's still in that continuity or not, which I think is a good thing for this film, because they can do other stuff.
Yeah.
If it isn't, and if it is, you know?
Yeah. Best way to do it.
Yeah. And the nanotech made sense because it's alien parasite, well, not alien parasite, but it's alien symbiosis combination, whatever, rather than everything in the Marvel universe is now nanotech. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good.
Yeah.
Good cast.
Good stuff.
Film. Good story. Yeah. Recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So good. All positive stuff. Yep.
Yeah. All positive.
Mm-hmm.
There was. Oh no! There was a point in it. I was like, "Oh, that doesn't make sense," but now I've literally forgotten it. I was going to say it when we talked about it, but I've forgotten it. So it's fine.
Oh. Okay. Was it a story thing that didn't make sense, or was it like a?
It's like a plot hole sort of thing, but I legit can't remember it now, so it can't be that important.
All right. I didn't think there were any, but not any, but I didn't catch. I didn't think I caught any.
Oh.
Not obvious ones, anyways.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, well, we're gonna leave it at that unless later on at some point you point it out to me and I'll be like, "Ooh, actually."
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay, that wraps up for this episode.
Yes, and thank you all for watching. Watching or listening to us talk about.
Oh, wait. Well, but what you meant to say was thank you all for watching Blue Beetle. Yeah.
Yes, make sure you watch it, support it. Thank you for watching Blue Beetle, and listening to us review it. And did you like the film? If you have seen it, let us know, and you can do that in the comment section down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can leave us a Instagram message, comment, a tweet, all that lovely stuff, and that's all could be found in our description section. Also, don't forget to give us a 5-star review if you listen to us on a podcasting app. And until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Blue.